I work at Fazoli's, and I've worked there for, I'm just going to say, a year and 9 months. So I'm one of the longest working employees there. Pay's not that great, but it's decent, and I enjoy the people I work with, and it's not terribly difficult work. So.
Put your name on there? Here, you write your name on there.
Okay, $8.52.
That sounds pretty cheap.
We talk a lot about whether American kids work enough, devote themselves to things enough. American kids actually work a lot. What we're really talking about is the distribution of time. When children play sports, they dedicate a lot of time to those activities. When a teenager has a part-time job, that young person is working hard. And so we should never forget that young people and Americans, in fact, do work hard. So it's a question of distribution of activity and effort.
When I talk to parents and I talk about how much Chinese students study, how long the school year is, how many hours they study and so on, you get a mixed response. Some parents agree with it absolutely, and again think we're not asking enough of our students, and that's doing them a disservice because then they won't be as prepared as they need to be. And other people are very concerned about that. They don't want more homework because they either want their students to be able to work after school or participate in a range of other activities.
So I think the issue is not that Americans are not so smart, or our high school education is so terrible we can't do this work, or our college thing is so bad. We're actually pretty flexible, much more so than a lot of other countries, because we do it by letting the young people make the decision.
So when I grew up, I went into engineering for the very simple reason that my dad told me to. So I wish I could say that I was more enlightened than that. But the reason why my dad told me that is because he felt that the best economic outlook for me was as an engineer versus in any of the other sciences.
Bill Gates is more respected in Indian schools than he is in American schools today. I mean, the fact is that Indian kids look up to the tech entrepreneurs in the USA, and they're the heroes. I mean, I'll tell you, when I've run 2 technology companies. When I used to go back as a tech executive, I was treated like a movie star in India, simply because I was a high-tech executive who had succeeded in the USA.
I need to study for this genetics test. Haven't studied at all. I haven't even read the chapter.
Also, question number 33, you should be able to get right because I will accept 3 of the 4 answers on that.
All right.
I'm really thinking according to probability. Essay number 1 is worth 10 points. Number 3. Shoot.
那么我对我自己的期望是，我以前看那个就是体育比赛嘛，然后我就非常喜欢有一位 F1 车手，然后他后面拿冠军了，那么我就在想，我的人生目标就希望在某一个，我现在还不知道是哪一个，某一个很小的领域，非常小的点上，能够取得世界第一。
I don't see myself as a homemaker. I don't think I'd be happy or content being a homemaker. I think I just want more out of life. For my mom, I think it's good. You know, it's like her idea of happiness is that. I don't think mine's that.
Yeah, basically my first priority to develop my kids is to become globally competitive. All the times, right from day one, I'm attempting the same thing. Give the freedom, give the fearlessness to face anybody, freely and effortlessly.
Unless the U.S. wakes up and realizes the new threat, realizes the fact that we're competing with anyone, anywhere in the world, we're going to lose. We're not going to be the leaders in the next 30 years or so unless we wake up and realize that.
And it takes decades to create a high-performing scientist or engineer. Because these things unfold over time, people tend to overlook them. It is a crisis because by the time one recognizes what has happened, it takes time to remedy the situation.
I think the key thing is not to get into a game where we say, China's graduating 600,000 engineers, we're only graduating 60,000. Oh my goodness, we're going to lose our comparative advantage. We will lose our competitive edge. That's not the case. It depends upon how good our 60,000 people are, how well the industries make use of them. And it also depends how quickly, of course, the wages in China and India and other countries come up for these people. And they will be rising fairly rapidly for good people in those countries.
So if you think that what America does really well is creating opportunity, that ultimate economic mobility creates great motivation for people to want to apply themselves, those that do want to apply themselves, and get results and rewards. So I think that economic mobility, that open environment, socially, culturally, economically, is very important. I think, and it doesn't exist that much in other parts of the world. Still today, this is the land of opportunity.
The question is, can Americans continue to add substantial value to an integrated world economy so that the incomes of Americans continue to rise, and not just the incomes of the top 20 or 30% who get the best education, but I'm talking about the incomes of most Americans. That's the goal here. It's not to be number one necessarily in everything. It's not to knock the Chinese and the Indians down. It's to be part of an increasingly, hopefully, more valuable set of human minds doing more and more complicated and more productive things.